Greetings, I'm John Setzler and welcome back to Atlanta Grill Company. Today we're going to do the first video in a three-part series that's going to focus on pizza and how to make your own pizza dough at home. We're going to do 3 pizza doughs that all use the same ingredients that give you 3 different results. They're very easy to cook. We're going to cook one on a Kamado Joe, we're going to cook one on a rock box, and we're going to cook one on the Alpha wood-fired oven. If you guys are watching on Facebook, how about giving us a thumbs up? And if you're watching on YouTube, how about clicking that subscribe button and then click the bell icon so you can get updates each time we post a new video. So let's get started. When I cook this pizza today, I'm going to use the Dojo accessory, but if you're not using the Dojo accessory, here's how you want to set up your Kamado Joe Classic or Kamado Joe Big Joe to cook pizza. You want to have plenty of charcoal in your firebox because you're going to need it to get a good hot temperature here. You want your grill grates in the top position, and then I just like to set my heat deflectors on the grill grates up here in the middle, and then you need a couple of objects that you can use as spacers. I have a couple of these black iron pipe fittings that I can set right here, and you can use anything you like here. It doesn't have to be these, and it doesn't have to be a specific thickness. These are just something that work well for me. And then you set your pizza stone right on top of that, and what that does is it just gives you a setup where your pizza stone won't overheat and burn your pizza. I find that with this setup, my pizza stone, when the grill is properly preheated, is usually within 50 degrees of my ambient grill temperature, which is perfect because when I run the Dojo today, I'm going to control it with the fireboard. I want to take a brief moment here to show you the ingredients that we're going to use to make this pizza dough. I have weighed all these ingredients, and I highly encourage that you do the same with a kitchen scale, but I will give you the volume measurements for this in the video description. We're starting out with just 500 grams of all-purpose flour. I've got 10 grams of salt, and I'm using DIAMOND CRYSTAL KOSHER SALT here. I've got 5 grams of instant yeast, and then I've got 300 grams of lukewarm water. And this is all that we're going to use to make this pizza. To get started making this dough, I'm going to take my yeast and I'm just going to dump it in my little jar there of lukewarm water. And I'm going to take a spoon, kind of stir that up, and get the yeast completely dissolved in this water. And in the bowl of my stand mixer here, I've dumped my flour. I'm going to dump the salt in there and just give that a quick whisk together. And then I'm just going to put the dough hook in the stand mixer, turn the dough hook onto a slow speed, and then I'm going to slowly drizzle my yeast water into this. And once I have all of that drizzled in there, I'm just going to let this knead in the mixer for about 8 minutes. And after that dough has been kneading for about 8 minutes there, it's ready to go. So we're going to take this off. So I've taken that dough off the dough hook here, and what I'm going to do is just going to kind of turn this guy and fold it underneath to get a nice tight skin across the top of the dough. And then I'm going to just kind of pinch it off there at the bottom, and I'm going to put it skin side down here in the bowl and roll it around a little bit and flip it. So I've got a nice coat of oil on that. I'm going to cover this guy up with plastic wrap, and I'm going to let it rise until it doubles in size, which takes anywhere from an hour to an hour and 15 minutes depending on the temperature you're in. A good way to proof this dough is to toss it in the oven and just turn the oven light on, and that creates a temperature environment that's pretty good for this. So we'll see you when this is risen. I'm about 30 minutes into my dough rise, and I want to get the grill lit early enough where I can get it completely preheated. So I've got a full firebox of charcoal. I used 3 of the Kamado Joe fire starters buried in the charcoal to get this fire going. And I've let these burn for 7 or 8 minutes here. And now I'm going to go ahead and set the dojo in place. And I'm also going to use the fireboard to run the grill today. So I'm going to run it through the front opening of the dojo. I'm using the Fireboard 2 Pro. And then I'm just going to close the lid, and the top vent's going to remain fully closed. And then I'm going to set the Fireboard 2 to run the grill at 500 degrees. I think we're going to cook this first pizza at 500, and then we'll cook the next pizza on the second video at a hotter temperature, and then we'll go even hotter than that for the third pizza. I've let my dough rise here for an hour, and this guy's doubled up fairly nicely. So what I'm going to do next is I'm just going to punch that down a little bit to kind of deflate that dough, and then I'm going to roll it out of the bowl onto my work surface here. And I'm going to take my bench knife, and I'm just going to cut that into 2 equal parts. This is enough dough for 2 pizzas. And I'm going to take each one of these and shape it back into a dough ball like we did to begin with. And I'm just going to set these here in the middle of my pastry mat that I like to work on. And we're going to let these do a quick second rise here for about another 30 minutes or so. And I'm just going to cover those up with my towel while that's going on. Okay, I've finished my second rise, and I am going to lay down just a little bit of flour here on my mat to get this get this pizza shaped. I'm going to take one of my doughs that we just finished proofing again, and I'm going to shape this guy into a pizza. And after I get my crust shaped the way I want it, the next thing I'm going to do is put it up on the pizza peel. And I am going to douse my pizza peel with a liberal coat of semolina flour. And yeah, a lot of people will tell you to use cornmeal, but if you can use semolina flour, I think you'll be a lot better off. So I'm just going to lay my pizza up on here on the peel, and we'll put it together here on the peel where we're good to go when we're finished. The next thing I'm going to do is spread sauce on it. And after I get the sauce down, I'm going to put on some mozzarella. And once I've got that down, we're going to finish it off with some pepperoni on top. And then when I get the pepperoni on, this guy's technically ready to go to the grill, and our grill is ready. But one of the things I like to do here to make sure that I'm not going to have any problem launching my pizza is I want to pick the peel up and give it a little shake like this and make sure that my pizza is going to slide on there. You can see that that's working, so this guy's ready. Let's take it to the Kamado Joe. Our Kamado Joe's running here, looks like about 525, and you can see down here on the fireboard we're showing about 522, and we'll see how hot the deck is in there. It's showing at about 560, so that's perfect. Let's get this pizza in. So I'm going to make sure my wire's not in the way there, and we'll slide that guy in there easy peasy, and we'll just let her cook. We've been going in there for about 4 minutes now, and it's cooking right along. I'm figuring this is going to take 8 to 9 minutes, maybe 10. So we'll be back when it's done. I'm at about the 5.5 minute mark or so. I'm going to pull this guy. We're going to give it a turn and put it right back in there. We're coming up on the 10-minute mark, and this guy's just about ready, but what I want to do is kind of see if I can show you that crust on the bottom. It's a nice golden brown, so let's get this guy off. Okay, it's ready. You have a look at that. That's beautiful. Let's set it on the table here and have a closer look. Guys, this pizza's beautiful. It has an amazing look to it. The crust is perfectly cooked. The bottom of it's perfectly cooked. And this guy, I love the way this pepperoni cups up here. I'm using, I actually used the Bridgeford brand pepperoni on this that I sliced off the stick myself. So I'm gonna let this cool for a couple minutes. And this is gonna be part of the lunch here today at the man cave. So this is gonna wrap up the first pizza. This pizza went right at 2 hours, somewhere between 2 hours, 2 hours and 15 minutes from the time I started mixing the dough until the time it comes off the grill. So this is very easy to do, and I want you guys to try this and come back next week, because we're going to do a 24-hour dough ferment that's a flavor improvement process for the dough. So until next time, this is John Setzler with Atlanta Grill Company.